back at it again, ranking every single card in Clash Royale after the recent balance update. And there are some big changes on this list today, so make sure you stick around to see where your favorite card lands on the ranking. But jumping right into it, we have 6 tiers on our list, ranging from S tier, the strongest cards in the game, all the way down to D tier, or as we should call it probably right now, Barbarian Hut tier. Barbarian Hut tier? All right. So with that fixed and out of the way, let's go ahead and start ranking some of these cards. We have 107 to go. Battle Healer all the way down here at C tier, one of the weaker cards of the game. Obviously, the Electric Golem was reworked in the August balance update, but so far it appears the rework might have actually made the Electric Golem even weaker. So still, the Electric Golem Battle Healer combo remain at the bottom of the tier list, all the way at C tier. Let's go bats over here, way up the top, A tier. The bats, honestly, for 2 elixir, offer some insane value. If your opponent doesn't have zap in response immediately, they just destroy basically everything. They are a very, very powerful card for only 2 elixir. They have the distraction component as well. The battle ram, ooh, B tier. Bomb tower, B tier. Bowler, gonna be B plus tier. I actually think the Bowler is a pretty good card in Clash Royale, and that's why I'm ranking it above average. The cannon, all the way up here at A tier. One of the best built-ins in the game right now. And the Dark Prince, all the way up here at A tier. Dark Goblin, yo, A tier. Even though the stats of the Dark Goblin don't necessarily reflect it being an A tier card, I think it is underappreciated and underutilized. It is a very, very solid card in Clash Royale. Now, the Earthquake used to be pretty strong a couple metas ago, but remember it got nerfed to the Crown Tower damage in an emergency balance update, I think back in the spring of this year. And since then, way down here at the middle of B tier, Electro Dragon, B tier as well. Electro Giant, this is the spiciest change of this balance list. Last balance tier list, I ranked it as an S tier card. It was all over the place in the previous meta, but it appears the nerf actually hit the Electro Giant pretty hard, and since then it has fallen all the way down to the lower end of B tier. Now, whoa, you're probably thinking, Shane, the Electro Giant is still very powerful, still OP, still busted. Well, it does work in 1 or 2 strategies that are still pretty good, but check out these stats right now. This is from Royale API in Grand Challenges over the last 7 days, and Grand Challenges are the perfect place to pull stats from because everyone has access to all the cards at the exact same level, so you have an equal playing field. And the E-Giant is all the way down here with only a 41% win rate and a 3% usage, so it appears that nerf actually did hit the E-Giant pretty hard. Electro Spirit gonna be an A tier card as well, right next to the Dang Prince, and same thing with the Electro Wizard on the lower end of A tier. Just overall very, very versatile card, range attack, decent damage, and it has the ability, the extra utility of the reset as well. Let's go Elite Barbarians up here, higher end of B plus tier. The Elixir Collector, oh, this card is busted, my friends. I'm surprised it's not more dominant in the meta because it's basically guaranteed value. But let's go right here at the middle end of A tier, the Executioner. If you remember, in the last tier list, I ranked it all the way at the bottom of C tier, but because of the buff, the extra axe range, it now climbs all the way up to the higher end of B tier. Maybe even argument lower end of A plus tier, or sorry, A tier. But you know what? Let's go higher end of B plus tier. Fire Spirit, way up here on the higher end of A tier. Even though the damage was nerfed slightly, it's still such an elixir efficient way of doing damage to a tower. It is still a very, very powerful card. Fireball, despite the nerf, is still one of the best spells in the game. Boom, next to his Fire Speed brother, the Firecracker. Unfortunately, way down here at C tier. I know it's an annoying card, but honestly, it is very, very weak. There is a reason why the higher you push up in trophies, significantly less firecrackers you will face. And Yoda, recording, is it? I am talking like. Let's go a Fisherman up here, all the way up here at the higher end of A tier. Honestly, insanely powerful card, offers a ton of utility, just overall very well rounded. Let's go behind Fire Spirit, in front of it, behind it, in front of it. Archers, unfortunately, lower end of C tier. Overall, just not really a good card at all. Fly Machine, I think, is underappreciated. Very, very good card in Clash Royale. Let's go in the middle of the B plus tier. The Freeze Spell, higher end of B tier. The Furnace, unfortunately, another C tier card. Fairly weak. Obviously, the Fire Spirit was nerfed, and the Furnace was already weak before that. And that nerf to the Fire Spirit makes the Furnace even weaker. So it's going to fall all the way down to the lower end of C tier. Sorry, Furnace, but that's how it goes. those. The Giant way up here at the middle end of B+ tier. Now, speaking of Giants, the Giant skeleton surprisingly did not get nerfed in that balance update. I don't know how. It is obviously busted. The stats are insane. Like, check this out right now. The Giant skeleton right here with a whopping 23% usage and a 54% win rate. That is insane. Those stats are absurd. Typically, the higher the usage goes, the more significance this win rate offers because more players are using it. And honestly, whenever you have a card that is this popular, 23% usage, and still wins the majority of games, you know it is busted. And how did it not get nerfed? Nobody will ever know. Giant Snowball way over here at A tier. Overall, fairly good card. Goblin Barrel, B+ tier. Goblin Cage, also B+ tier. And the Goblin Drill way at the tippity top of the A tier. Borderline S tier, but I'm gonna rank it S tier. Now, the Goblin Gang is one of the cards that's gonna join the Barbarian Hut in the Barbarian Hut trash tier. You know what? We might as well just go ahead and throw this Barb Hut in there right now. These two cards are amongst some of the worst in the entire game. Thankfully, because the Golden Knight was nerfed, it is not as popular in the meta, which does give the Goblin Gang a bit of space to actually find a place in the meta. But unfortunately, you're still better off using guards or a skeleton army. The Goblin Gang is just not good. They should really think about bringing back the third Spear Goblin into the Goblin Gang to make it 6 total spears once again. It might make it broken, but you know what? Throw it in there. If the Goblin Gang is viable for a couple metas, let it have some fun, in my opinion. The Goblin Giant way over here at the higher end of B tier. Goblin Hut. Oh no, my friend, I'm sorry to say, but you're way down here at C tier. Bum ba da bum. Weak. Speaking of goblins, we also have the Stabby Goblins way down here at C tier. Unfortunately, also very weak, the Golden Knight. Now, obviously, he was nerfed in the balance update. He used to be the most busted card in Clash Royale. He's still fairly good. Honestly, still an S tier. Like, most of the champions are just busted. Like, the champions across the board are extremely strong, which makes sense because they are champions. But the argument is, should they be that strong? Should they be that game-changing? I don't know. You be the judge. But speaking of judges, we have the Golem over here, going way up here at B tier. I made it sound like he was going way up high, but no, just B tier. The Dragon, the Baby Dragon, all the way up here at A tier. Honestly, Baby D is one of the strongest cards in the game and the longest lasting in terms of being a perpetually strong card. It has been so good for as long as I can remember. Just overall decent health, flies, does decent damage, and has splash attack. Very, very solid card. The Bandit, way up here at A tier. Dun 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 dun. Boom. Now, speaking of bandits, we have the Graveyard. Overall, an A tier card. Very, 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 very solid strategy and very, very solid win condition. The guards also A tier. This is the one of the reasons why Goblin Gang is so low. It's because the guards are actually pretty powerful. The Heal Spirit, Heal Spirit, or Hear Spirit. does he hear things or does he heal things? I don't know. We're gonna go right there. B+ tier. Barbarian Barrel obviously was changed, I think, a couple bounces ago. Still a very, very solid card. One of the best small spells in Clash Royale. The Hog Rider. Dun 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 dun. B tier. The Hunter. Way over here at B tier as well. And then the Ice Golem was buffed, but still has not found a place in the meta. Lower end of B tier. Same thing with the Ice Spirit and the Icy Wizard. Let's go up here at B+ tier. Inferno Dragon, all the way at the top of the A tier, right next to his baby brother. Inferno Tower, B tier. Knight, same thing. Gonna go bump, and then the Lava Hound. Yo, Lava Hound, surprisingly, is always persistently fairly viable and fairly good. So therefore, A tier. Lightning Spell, dun 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 dun. Lightning Spell is gonna go, I would say, B tier. The meta right now is fairly dominated by like faster cycle decks and Fireball bait. So Lightning Spell just isn't as viable as in the previous metas when you can get lots of value against Archer Queens and stuff like that. The Lumberjack, same thing right here. Let's go, boom. B tier. Barbarians. I think the Barbarians are honestly a fairly good card. I'm going to go higher end of B tier. The Archer Queen isn't as good as she used to be, but she's still a champion and therefore still busted and therefore still S tier. Very, very solid champion in Clash Royale. The Arrows right now, very, very popular and very, very good. A tier. Magic Archer, similarly, going to be an A tier card as well. The Cannon card. This is one of my favorite cards in the game to use, and also I think one of the most underappreciated cards as well. insane range, insane damage, and insane health. Just always persistently gets pretty good value with that cannon card. I notice whenever I use a cannon card in my deck, my win rate typically tends to go up versus not having it in there. The Bomber, B+ tier. Boom. Balloon, gonna be B+. Yes, B+. Mega Knight, way down here at the lower end of the B tier, right next to his friendly neighborhood Spider Knight. Right there. Let's go a Mega Minion up here. You know what? Mega Minion's a pretty good card. Pretty good card. B+ tier, next to the Flying Machine, the Mighty Monitor. Dun 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 dun. S tier, right next to the Golden Knight. Honestly, the champions are just busted. All the champions are busted. Mighty Miner has found a very dominant position in the meta because of that fast cycle log bait deck and the variations of that. And honestly, it works and it's very, very good. Miner, boom, A tier. Mini P.E.K.K.A. right next to this guy. There we go. Minion Horde. Ooh, let's go right now and to bada boom. And the minions next to the Minion Horde, the Mirror. Let's go way up here at S tier. The Mirror is just such a good card. I love it. I love it. And I actually hope they don't nerf it. I know it's a controversial hot take, but the Mirror finally has a place in the meta. If you remember a long, long time ago, or for the longest time, the Mirror was a trash card. It was one of the worst cards in the entire game. It was only ever used in like troll strategies, and that has finally changed. The Mirror now has a distinct purpose and a distinct use case. And a compelling reason as to why you would want to use it in your strategy. And I think that should stay. The Mirror is just a fun card overall. And you know what? It just makes for more interesting gameplay, which in my opinion is fun. The Mortar, dun 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 dun, way up here, A tier. One of the strongest cards in the game, and a lot of pros have been arguing about a Mortar needing a nerf. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but the Mortar is overall a very solid building. You can use it on defense if you need to, but you can also use it as a win condition. That dual purpose offers a ton of versatility in the Mortar, and therefore it is an A tier card. Mother Witch, right now, pretty dominant. Higher end of A tier. Musketeer, gonna be on the middle of the B+ tier. Night Witch, same thing, lower end. Actually, let's go right over here next to Lumberjack. Boom. P.E.K.K.A. right here next to the Mega Knight. Poison's gonna be on the B+ tier. The Princey Boy was buffed, but you know what? He's still kind of like an okay card. B+ tier next to the Lead Barbarians. Princess is gonna be in the lower end of the B tier, right down here. The Rage Spell, same thing, right here on the lower end of the B tier. The Ram Rider, way over here. It was buffed in the recent balance update, so it's not like too crazily good, but it's better than it was beforehand. But obviously, it's still not as like OP. Let's go right here. World Delivery is going to be a B+ tier card as well. The Royal Ghost. I've been saying this for a couple of months now. I firmly believe the Royal Ghost has been flying under the radar in terms of value and power. And I've been saying for a couple of balance updates that I think the Royal Ghost actually needs a nerf. Now, maybe you agree, maybe you don't agree, but check out these stats. The Royal Ghost is all the way up here with a 54% win rate, 17% usage. Now compare that to the Skeleton King, which I also think needs another nerf. 14% usage, 55% win rate. The Fisherman, 14% usage, 56% win rate. The Royal Ghost has 17% usage and 54% win rate. It is very, very, very powerful. And I've been saying it for a couple of balance updates, but I believe the Royal Ghost deserves another significant nerf. I think it's just way too strong in its current state in terms of a only 3 electric cost card. The Royal Giant, A tier overall, very good win condition. Hey, Dark Oven, don't try and cheat. Royal Giant, get up there. Dark Oven, you stay down. The Royal Hawks, way up here. Bump a bum. A tier, just very, very good in the current meta because of that one kind of Johnson mirror deck. Just goes so well with Fireball Bait and with the Mirror. The Royal Recruits going to be, you know, I think Royal Recruits are a pretty good card in Clash Royale. B+ tier. Skeleton Army, way up here at the A tier as well. And then let's go in with this Skeleton Barrel right over here at B+ tier. Skeleton Dragons, let's go to the higher end of B tier right now. The Skeleton King, surprise, it's a champion. Where would it go? Way up here at S tier. The Skeleton King is busted. Honestly, it deserved a bigger nerf. I think they should reduce the radius of his ability because I think it spawns skeletons too far apart. And what ends up happening is you can have a skeleton king like at the bridge and it's spawning skeletons on your tower. And even if you have spells to respond to it, you end up missing half of them because they spawn so far apart. So I think they should reduce the radius of the skeleton spawn. Skeletons for 1 elixir up here at the higher end of A tier. Overall, just a very, very good card. Persistently offer a decent amount of value. The Sparky. Ooh, this is a fun card. I'm going to go B+ tier. The Spear Goblin is another A tier card overall. Fairly good. Right there. The Tesla, lower end of a B tier. Honestly, borderline C tier. Just has not been doing too well right now. Luck Spell was nerfed a couple bounces ago, but still pretty popular and still pretty strong. We're next to the Barbarian Barrel. Let's go in with the Musketeers right now over here at B+ tier. The Tombstone, still one of the best buildings in the game right now. Over here, A tier. Next to the cannon. Tornado is another S tier card. Dude, Tornado is busted. There's no argument there. It is busted. And if it were not for Tornado spell, the Electro Giant would not even have any ounce of viability. The only reason you could ever use E-Giant and even think about winning is because of the Tornado spell. It is that busted. Just honestly, busted. Valkyrie over here. Let's go. Boom. Wall Breakers, another A tier card. Bum, which unfortunately is on the higher end of C tier. The Wizard, though, way at the bottom. Boom. Sorry, my friend. You're at the bottom of the C tier. The Expo. Hey, here's the thing. If I rank the Expo S tier, do you think they'll nerf it? Because if so, I'm ranking it S tier. I don't think so, though. They won't listen to me. So let's go all the way down here with a lower end of a B tier. Zaspel, pretty good card overall. Not as good as the Snowball, but overall it's pretty decent. You know what? Maybe not that good. Let's go right here. Okay. And then finally the Zappies. The last card to be ranked today. 107 cards. Did I miss any? Hopefully not. If I did, leave a comment down below what card I missed. But the Zappies is going way up here. All the way up here at A tier. Honestly, I think an argument could be made that the Zappies are also deserving of a bit of a nerf. They offer split lane pressure, split lane defense, split lane utility with the reset. Overall, a fairly safe card to always use. And honestly, look at these stats right here. Where's Zappies? 18% usage, 55% win rate. One of the highest rated cards in the entire game, and that's over the past couple of days. So that's a good data set right there. Zappies, very strong. But ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, that is my tier list. What do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree? If you could change 5 cards, you know what? 3 cards. You're only allowed to change 3 cards. What would you change from my list? What would you move? And where would you move it to? But that is the video, guys and girls. Thank you for watching. And until we get another balance update and we do another balance tier list, this is my current up-to-date tier list. That was kind of redundant, but that is the end of the video. Thank you very much. We shall see you all in the next one.